thrilled to have you all together on the new year to kick it off with Dishing with the Dietitian. And what better way than to start with a delicious, healthy meal? So this is a time of year when most often many of you have made New Year resolutions, and one of those I'm hoping is to continue to eat healthy, or if you haven't, to start to make steps towards having a heart healthy lifestyle, not diets, because we know diets don't work. And part of that is having food that tastes good and feels good. That one of the reasons we eat is to give us joy and pleasure. So what I thought and what I'm so excited to do with you tonight is to show you one of my new favorite ways to make chicken, because it's something, it includes no real special ingredients, it's things that you probably have already on hand, and I thought we would cook together on the live stream and kick this new year off right. So if you're here, let me know you're here by giving me the thumbs up button or say hello. I'm happy to have all of you here on the live stream. And let me know if you've been making any special dishes, that you've been maybe experimenting with different flavor combinations that you have found and that you're starting to include in your everyday life. And remember, we're including small short-term
Christina
goals.
Nikita says, happy, healthy 2021 mother and daughter.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, we both say thank you. So we really appreciate that. Thank you, Christina, and the same to you. And I'm so happy to have you here tonight.
Tom Monahan says, hi, Debbie. Happy New Year.
Oh, my cook. How are you? So this will be good because you cook. I did cook.
Janice says, happy New Year.
Janice, how are you? I love you guys. And nobody I would rather usher in a new year with than all of you. And let me know if you did see, I did post the ingredients for this so that you can.
Susan O'Malley, happy New Year.
Susan, how are you? Happy New Year to you. And so I did post the ingredients in case you did want to cook with me, because I think it was Tom that you suggested that last time, and I thought it was a great idea. So I don't know if you checked, but there was the ingredients listed. If not, no problem. You can take notes. The beauty of this dish is you can modify it to any flavor combinations you like. The technique will be the same. You can make this any way you want. I love garlic. I love lemon. So I'm always going to include that, and that's what we're going to do today. So my new favorite way to make chicken, and let me know if any of you have tried this at all.
Boo Down says,
oh,
Yiffy Boo.
Hey, Boo. Nice to have you aboard. That's when I know my live stream's good to go. And now I don't have to worry about you, because I do. So this is spatchcock chicken, which you can do it at home, or you can buy it already done, or if they have whole roasters at the supermarket or wherever you're buying your chickens, you can bring it to the meat counter and ask them to just cut out the backbone, because that's what it is. If you're doing it at home, stand your roaster up, cut out the backbone, put it down and press down to break that bone, and now it will lie flat. And the beauty of that is
Susan O'Malley says, Karen says, happy New Year.
Oh, I love having my girls. So make sure that you do it, you have a spatchcock chicken which will lay flat so that you can have much more surface for browning, which is delicious, and it can cook nice and evenly, which is just what we're looking to do. So let me show you, we're doing this live, so anything that can go wrong typically does, but let's hope it doesn't, because we did a quesadilla, if you remember, we did just great. And for those of you who are new to my channel, let me start by saying welcome. My name is Debbie Kravitsky. I'm the registered dietitian. I've been a dietitian for over 30 years. Currently, I'm a clinical dietitian at the Mass General Hospital's Cardiovascular Disease Prevention Center. I also have a private practice that I offer through Zoom. If this interests you, contact me at Debbie, D-E-B-B-I-E, Kravitsky, K-R-I, V as in Victor, I-T-S-K-Y, at gmail.com, and we can arrange a time for us to meet through Zoom. This is just a wonderful world. I think one of the pluses of the silver linings in this coronavirus is that I'm able to meet with you in your own home. Nobody has to leave, and you can show me real foods that you're eating, and I can give you individually tailored guidance as to how you can get healthier habits. So I'd love to do that with anybody who's interested. I also consult with many corporations. I've appeared in national publications such as Harper's Bazaar and Family Circle magazine. I've contributed to a book written by other cardiologists for Mass General called Facing Heart Disease. And I also
Styler Consulting, happy New Year, and thank you for your dedication to the cause.
My pleasure, and yours as well. So it gives me my greatest pleasure to be able to help you reach your dietary goals by providing you with current, accurate, evidence-based information. Together, we will shop, we will cook, and I will navigate the way. So let's get cooking. This is my spatchcock chicken. If you can see, I have washed it, and it's nice and flat. The backbone is out. And now I have to tell you that I really don't measure when I cook. You won't have to measure with this either. So here we go. I am going to drizzle with a little oil. You can use as little as you want. It's going to help to make some of the sauce. And I'm just going to brush that oil all around. Try to get into every nook and cranny. And you're just going to give this a little bath, so to speak, just a little lubrication. So when it hits a pan, it will get brown. It'll give it a little bit of flavor and a little bit of color. Easy so far, is it not? All right, now, that's it for the olive oil. It's done. It's done its time. Hands nice and clean. I'm going to take a little bit of salt. You don't have to, but I'm going to take a little bit of kosher salt. You'll make it any way you want. I go from above so that I don't have to use as much, and it can fall nice and evenly. And it's about 1/4 teaspoon. That's it. That's it for the salt. It's done. It did its thing. And now I have some garlic powder. And I'll be much more liberal with the garlic powder because it's
Angela
powder.
Costa says Happy New Year, Deb.
Happy, healthy New Year to you, Angela. I'm so happy you're on. That's awesome. How's this looking so far? And if there's some crevices you think you're not getting in, go ahead in. And I'm good. I'm pretty generous with garlic powder because it's a powder, not a salt, and in it goes. I'm going to keep layering flavors. Now remember, you could do cumin, you could do oregano, you could do whatever you like. I'm doing this. And here we go. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic salt. I'll try to go nice and even, in nice even layers. And that's it for that. That did its thing. This you don't have to do. I very lightly do a little garlic Lowry seasoning, just a little bit. And a lot of this, I'm telling you, is going to come out in the pan. And then I do, for color, paprika and a little flavor, I do some paprika. And again, I do a little heavier on the paprika because it's just flavoring and great color.
Angela Costa says, I'm sorry I missed what you brushed on.
I brushed on some olive oil to start, Angela. No problem. Good for you to speak up. Olive oil to start. And then I did a little sprinkling of each of kosher salt, of garlic powder, garlic salt. That finishes my paprika. How do you like that? Shows you that I do use these things. I am going to heat a cast iron pan that I've put about a tablespoon of olive oil in already. And I'm going to heat this over medium-high heat. Now, why I love a cast iron pan is it can...
She says thank you.
Anytime. Because I want a cast iron pan because it'll conduct the heat. It'll get it nice and hot, and that's going to make this chicken delicious and brown. Just so you know, to go in my pan, I already have cut up because I love, remember, just like with the quesadillas, you always want to prep ahead of time to have things ready. So I have a Vidalia onion cut up. These are my favorite flavors. Let me know what your favorite flavors are if you like these. I have a lemon that I've quartered, and I have a whole head of garlic that I've simply cut in half. These are going to roast with the potato. Now, with the chicken. Now, if you have a bigger pan, you could slice a potato and put it in here as well. I have not. I'm using this. I'm going to take my trusty tongs, and I'm going to go skin side down. Right in. And I'm going to try to get this as flat as I can. And I think that's pretty good. That's probably as good as we're gonna get. Okay, and I'm gonna let that brown on that side. This is done. I can throw this away. This is done. And I am going to put my ingredients right in. Now, if I wanted to, I could have I'm going to take my lemon There's a little seed, I'll take it right out. And I'm gonna squirt it right over the top. I love that lemon and garlic combo. And in it goes. And in goes my garlic. And it's gonna roast right in. I love the onion. It'll also roast and get those pan juices. Look how good this looks. In 1 minute, we're gonna flip it. We're gonna let this get nice and brown, and then we're gonna flip it. And you may notice that to go with this meal, I'm gonna have some green beans. I love vegetables. Let me know if you guys do. And you wanna make sure that you have vegetables, half your plate with every meal. So now we are on our way. Most of the heavy lifting is done. All you're gonna do is we're gonna wait. We're gonna make sure that this gets nice and brown. Then we're gonna flip it. We're gonna brown the other side. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes on each side. Then we're gonna pop it in a 400-degree oven for about 35 minutes until it reaches 155 degrees on a meat thermometer. Let it rest for 10 minutes. If you cut it right away, the juices run out. So let those muscles go back, let them relax, let the juices flow back in. Then you're gonna have moist, amazing chicken. And when you cut it, you'll be able to use the juices from the pan, pour it over the chicken, and it'll be a built-in sauce for your chicken. Yum, yum, yum. And something, look how hard that was, right? And we're basically done. And this is something you could do on a weeknight. You also could do it if company was coming. That's how special this is, and that's how delicious it is. I wish you were here in this kitchen. If you could smell that garlic and the lemon, oh, and the onions. I think if we had we had this with smell, oh, I think you'd be right in there with me, and you'd be just as happy as I am. We're going to keep checking it. See how it's getting brown? So it doesn't take long. Let's let it get brown for a few more minutes. We're doing this live, remember?
Tom says, I bet it smells amazing.
It smells amazing, Tom. Now, the other thing you could do is you could add some sprigs of thyme, and you could totally do that. Actually, if you like thyme, let me show you. I'm going to show you how to do thyme. I actually have some. Sometimes when you just cook with these foods, then you just you keep them in your pantry, so they don't require any special dishes. So here's my sprig of thyme. Make sure you go in the opposite direction and you hold the stem and watch. It's just
Can you put it at a different angle?
Yeah. See like this? You just take it right like this, and it just comes right off, and just sprinkle it right in, and you're good to go. How easy was that? You don't want the stem, but you just want the leaves. So go, if it points up, you're going to go this way against it. And boom, nice clean stem, and you got just what you wanted. Oh, that was another layer of flavor that is beyond. It's worth giving it the time. Don't rush it. Let it have as much contact as possible with the bottom of that pan, because that's where it's going to get brown. Oh my gosh, it's so good, so good. Let me know, did you guys make New Year's resolutions? And I also want to talk to you about one more thing, since we're together. This is the best part about a live stream, is that I can keep you updated. I did give a talk. There is a video that you will find if you go back on the videos. If you go to upload videos, you'll see one on vitamin D. I did give a talk on vitamin D because in Nashville, because it is so important. So vitamin D plays a huge role in heart health. People don't realize that. In immunity, and plays a huge role in cancer prevention. Those people who had breast cancer and were deficient in vitamin D had much more recurrent and more aggressive tumor profiles than those who did not. So we know it plays a huge role also in bone density, in blood pressure management, and in weight management, as well as in depression. So vitamin D plays a tremendous role, and we often see that those who are deficient have a higher rate of autoimmune diseases like MS, like Crohn's, like GI issues such as irritable bowel. And it's not a surprise, therefore, that here in the Northeast, where we don't have access to the sun as often as those in other parts of the country, that we see greater incidences of these conditions than we do in other parts, and we know it's connected to vitamin D. So it wasn't a surprise, therefore, that they started to notice that those people who developed COVID, that those who were patients who did develop COVID and were deficient in vitamin D did not fare as well as those whose vitamin D status was adequate. So make sure you get your vitamin D level checked. Now, the best way to get vitamin D is outside in the sun. However, living in Boston, we're too far from the equator. And so you could stand outside all day long and you're just not going to make a lift. So right now, until mid-April, come mid-April, you can go outside and you'll be able to make all your vitamin D. And most of the time, I'm going to tell you, get your vitamin D from food. But in this case, it's just too hard. You need, it's understood, it's very well understood, that the RDA, or the recommended dietary allowance for vitamin D, is very outdated. And that a preventative dose, just to keep you in good stead, is 1,000 international units. And it comes in two forms, D2, D3. I recommend the D3.
Tom Monahan says he's going to Florida on Thursday, get his vitamin D.
Well, I think you need to take your favorite dietitian. What do you think, Tom? You're going to Florida. And how long are you going for, Tom? And make sure you're careful there, because, Corona is not doing so great there. But won't it feel so good to have the sun and have a change of scenery?
He says, come on down.
Oh, don't even ask twice. So make sure when you go on the plane, it's supposed to be very safe to fly, but nonetheless, make sure you go. I would go with cover your eyes, cover your face. I'm gonna be really prudent, and I would even wear gloves because you're on a plane. Bring wipes with you, because we don't know this. We still, as much as we learn, as much as we need to learn about this virus. So, and make sure that even before you leave, that your vitamin D level is adequate. But once you're there, you can go outside in the sun, and you'll get it. For anybody who, like Tom, who'll be in the sun, Tom, there's an app that's free, and it's called the letter D, the word Minder, M-I-N-D-E-R, and then the word Pro, D-Minder Pro. It was developed by a fellow at BU. It's free. It's creepy and good all in the same time. It's going to ask you questions like your age. It's going to, because as we get older, our ability to synthesize vitamin D from the sun diminishes. It's going to ask you the color of your skin. The darker your skin, it's a built-in sunscreen. So the lighter your skin, the longer you're going to have to stay out. And it's going to ask you your weight, because it's a fat-soluble vitamin, so it gets sequestered in your fat zone. If you had a lot of fat on you, you've got to stay out 2 to 3 times longer. Believe it or not, that was all the good parts of the app. Here's the creepy part of the app. There's a GPS in the app, so it's going to find you. And based on your location, it's going to tell you how long you need to stay out to make enough vitamin D. Yeah, we're ready to switch. Here we go. Look at that. Yum, yum, yum. What are you guys thinking? Now, what you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So we're going to let this one brown on this side. Oh my gosh, that looks good to me. What about you guys? Lost an onion, I just put it right back. It's all clean here. Live stream, we keep it real, we keep it live. And I hope there might be some people laughing. And this week I happen to have met a lot of different people.
Tom says your family will be happy campers tonight.
Oh, I hope so. A lot of people this week that I met with told me that they don't cook or they don't know how to cook. But this, I'm hoping, if any of those people are here with me on the live stream, that this is something that they could do. To get back to you, to wrap up vitamin D, Tom, it's D-Minder Pro. There's a GPS in the app, which is so creepy, but it's going to find you. Based on your location, it will start a timer as to how long you need to stay out to make enough vitamin D. And once you do, a buzzer will go off, you did it. But here's the catch. If you have sunscreen on, you're blocking the UV rays, all bets are off. And if you have long sleeves on, all bets are off. So arms and limbs exposed, no short sleeves, no clothing to block the sun. Definitely put sunscreen on your face, because we do know the connection between skin and sun cancer. But 10-15 minutes, and you'll make enough vitamin D. Do it 2 to 3 times a week, ideally between 11 and 3. But for those of us who aren't able to go with Tom on this trip to Florida, make sure that you take a vitamin D3 supplement. Now, because it's a fat soluble, meaning it's sequestering your fat cells, you can take too much, and it makes your calcium level go up. So everybody should get their vitamin D level assessed. Ask your primary care physician, your cardiologist, to just order a blood test to get your vitamin D level checked. Then you'll see how you respond to supplementation, so you don't go too high. How's that sound? Good? And they're doing studies now to see, now they know, see this? This is getting nice and brown on that side. I'm going to just give it a minute more, and then we're going to take this, and it goes in the oven, where the oven will do the rest of the work for us. And like the magic of television, I happen to have one done, which I'll show you in just a minute. But what's interesting about vitamin D is that they are looking to see, not only do they know that it has a role in immunity, and we know that those individuals who have an
As
adequate
Harris
level of
looks
vitamin
yummy.
D, looks yummy, yay, that they do better. But now they're looking to see, does it prevent you from getting COVID? How awesome would that be? Wouldn't that be nice? But that shows you how little we know about the virus and how much we're looking. All right, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this right into the oven and let that oven do the rest of the work for me. Look good? What are you guys thinking? Yummy? Here we go. And you can see that everything is cooking here. The lemons are cooking, the onions are roasting, the garlic is in there, and it will absorb also the pan juices and the juices from the chicken. And it will all cook, and they'll all be done at the same time. Yum, 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 yum. And you'll easily be able to cut this in half, cut it legs. You'll have 8 pieces at least, and you'll be able to have this either for one meal or for many. Depends on how many in your home. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. In the oven it goes. Now, 400 degrees, you need a clean oven. So 400 degrees for about 30-35 minutes till it reaches 155 degrees. Then you let it rest for 10 minutes. So through the magic of television, we happen to have one. Ooh, look at that. And I have some roasted potatoes that I've roasted with garlic. And I made you one earlier. And you can see now everything is cooked. The juices are in. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And we'll take it right over. And it has to rest. So we'll let that rest. I hope this is a meal that you guys think that you could make at home. It didn't require any special ingredients. They can do the spatchcocking for you in the supermarket or in the store, wherever you're buying your chicken, or you can buy it already done. The one thing I do like to do when I buy chicken is I do buy it organic. Because of the residue from the pesticide from the feed. But you buy an organic chicken, they'll cut it up for you, and it's really a very inexpensive meal to boot. But not only that, it's amazingly delicious. You can see this is done. This is starting to pull away already. It's really wonderful. I always have my meat thermometer nice and handy, and so I could stick this in, but I already know this is 155. And now I'm going to just let that rest. I have to go with this, I have some string beans. So let me show you what I did with these string beans. I cut a shallot, because I don't know about any of you, but I love flavor. So I love shallots, a nice mild onion flavor. I sliced the shallot nice and thin, and I sauteed it till right before it was going to caramelize. Then I took a package of already washed and cleaned string beans. If it's already washed, don't wash it again, because you don't want to increase contamination, and throw it right from the bag. How easy is that? And I did it with a little garlic, and now that's ready to roll. So dinner is really done in the most maximum would be, this is 35 minutes, 45 to let it rest, so maybe 55 minutes and you're done. But you're not standing by it the whole time. You let the oven do the work. How does that sound to you guys? So one night you could have a quesadilla, another night you could have chicken. You also, if there's leftover, you could slice this, make a chicken sandwich or a salad with the sliced chicken on top. Remember the flavors of lemon and garlic. So this would be totally, totally delicious as leftovers, any way you like it. And so you can stretch the meal. So lunch is ready for you for the next day as well. And you'll be good to go. What do you guys think? How did I do? Love to hear from you.
I'm very excited to be eating this.
So good. So I want to show you how you can take the information and just incorporate it into your everyday routine. And this spatchcock chicken, my new favorite, because it's independent of the weather. You can make this at home.
Janice says looks amazing.
Looks amazing. Janice, yay. And you could grill this too as well if you like to grill. You could put the whole pan on the grill, or you could just put the spatchcock chicken flat on the grill. And it would be sort of like chicken under a brick. I'm sure many of you have heard of that as well. The idea is to get that skin nice and crispy.
Stanley Consulting, do you offer curbside pickup?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I do. I love it. I love a good sense of humor. Oh, you guys are great. Totally
S.
great.
Harris says, how long should it cook on the grill?
So on the grill, I would do this. I would probably do about 20 minutes each side. Take that thermometer, do it skin side down first, and then when it looks like that's just how you like it to look, flip it, and then do it another 15 minutes and check in the thickest part right here for 155. That's where you're going to check.
Susan says, looks great. Karen and I are definitely making it this week.
I love that. Go you guys. I know you guys have done everything I've ever said, so I love that. And you're cooks, so I totally love that. It's so good because a lot of you guys, I know you all cook. So if I'm meeting with your approval, that is great. I'm trying to show you because people, we're all cooking more at home these days. And so this is just a way to keep mixing things up in a yummy and healthy way. All right. Well, I hope that's great. In the future, we can do things like pizza or whatever you'd like.
Tom says, I will make that dish, Debbie. Thanks for your substitution class. Based on your suggestion, I faked my family with a modified double stuffed baked potato. They were shocked how healthy.
That's awesome. I totally love that. And I have to tell you, Tom, this is one of the hardest parts for me, and why I'm so glad I have the YouTube, is that when I go in, because of COVID, I can't feed anybody. So in these days, I'll say, substitute faye, make a potato bar, and I get eye rolls. So I don't see anybody's face because of the mask, but I see the eyes rolling like, oh gosh, what is she telling us? Not buying in at all. And I can't show them to say, well, just try this or look at this because of COVID. But so it's so good you were there that you saw that. But that's why I'm hoping some of these folks also join in on the YouTube, so that they can at least see it. But I'm so glad you did that, and I'm so glad you fooled them and faked them out. Somebody told me they made something today that they told them it was the real thing, and it really wasn't. They had also made substitutions, and they couldn't believe it. Sometimes I try that out on my family, don't tell them. And I know if they go up for it or they go for seconds oftentimes, then I know I did a good thing. But I love, Tom, that you experiment with different dishes and you make up your own recipes too, and they are yummy, yummy, yummy. So I'm thinking, let me know any ideas you have for the next live stream. Upcoming recipe ideas, mine in my head include pizza. Let me know if that sounds good to you guys. It's fun, it's easy, and it's something. Let me also know if any of you have ever made the quesadillas, because we did that again last night. It was a hit here. But I want you to have yummy meals that don't eat. Food can be good for you. Food can taste good and be good for you. It's not an oxymoron. All right, what a great way to usher in the new year, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, Tom. Have a safe trip to Florida. Enjoy that sun. Oh, sounds good to me. But continue to make some heart-healthy, delicious meals. And I will look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. If you have any suggestions or things you want me to cover on the live stream, let me know. I'm happy to take suggestions. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure being with you. Happy, healthy New Year. Take care.
Janice says, have a great night and thank you.
You're welcome, Janice. Thanks for joining us.
Tom says thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tom. Awesome.